One of the strongest and most fun builds in Mortal Shell 2 essentially gives us access to a grenade launcher with a near endless amount of shots. Most weaker enemies will be defeated with just a single shot, while even tougher opponents can be dealt with in just a matter of 2 or 3. Assembling this build will require some work, as we will need to obtain a specific sidearm and assortment of Tarstones to bring it online. All of that will be covered in this guide, and as usual, useful timestamps can be found in the video description. Here is a quick overview before diving in. This guide will show how to obtain the Forgotten Crossbow sidearm and the Tarforge upgrade that allows us to enhance sidearms. We'll also be covering how to obtain the Emberseed Stone, Solnir Shard, Devout Stone, Marksman Stone, and Corroded Stone, along with the Tarforge upgrade that allows us to enhance Tarstones. Once we've completed the game's prologue, we can get the Forgotten Crossbow. We'll use the north launcher atop Marrow Keep to reach the Widow's Overlook beacon. From there, we'll move north past a corrupted shrine and down to the left. We can pick up the map for this region, then continue on towards the flooded village dungeon. To access the dungeon, we will need to clear the entrance of a one-way portal, which will reveal the dungeon's entrance. Once inside the flooded village, we will need to go down a single lift, then find a secret switch to push in the first room with 2 enemies. This will open a gate that leads to a second lift, and that will drop us down into the village proper. We'll then need to move through the flooded area and up across several rooftops to find a damp key. This key opens the door to a cathedral near the lift that we dropped in on. The Forgotten Crossbow can be picked up near the back of the room, and we can interact with the node that appears nearby for a quick exit. Let's cover where to get the Obsidian Lathe for the Tarforge, which is required to enhance our sidearms. We can get it on our way to the Mushroom Village beacon, which is also where we will get the Emberseed Stone. Starting back at the Widow's Overlook beacon, we'll move a short distance east past the Great Arbiter of Flesh and into the Martyr's Tomb dungeon. There is a button hidden behind some crates to the left, which will open the gate to the chest with the Obsidian Lathe. We can then shoot the button above the gate to open it back up and make our escape. Upon exiting the dungeon, we'll move a short distance into the Mushroom Village where our next beacon is waiting. To make use of the Obsidian Lathe, return to Marrow Keep and give it to Franz near the Tarforge. We should then be able to use crafting materials and coins, both obtained through exploration, to upgrade our sidearms. As you can see, I upgraded the Forgotten Crossbow a lot. To get the Ember Seed Stone, we will need to return to the Mushroom Village beacon and cleanse it. Once again, we will be descending down 2 elevators. At the bottom of the second, we can dodge through some wooden debris and keep winding down to the bottom. There, we'll find a chest with the Ember Seed Stone, along with the ova that we need to cleanse to clear this dungeon. Next up is the Marksman Stone, and this is along the path to get the Etching Needles upgrade for the Tar Forge, which will allow us to upgrade our Tarstones. Beginning from the Mushroom Village beacon, we'll move southeast towards the Mushroom Village Gate beacon. We can make a quick stop at a chest just beyond a corrupted shrine, which is where the Marksman Stone is found. With that, we'll move the rest of the way to the Mushroom Village Gate beacon. Both the Etching Needles and Corroded Stone are found beyond the gate. To access the nearby gate, we will first need to cleanse the Mushroom Village Gate beacon. To do that, enter the beacon dungeon and proceed down the lift. We need to solve a small puzzle here involving 2 one-way portals that grant access to deeper portions of the dungeon. We will eventually reach an enclosed chamber with a couple of enemies. After defeating them, we can strike at the walls until we find the illusory wall that can be dispelled. This will reveal the path to the final boss chamber. After defeating the final boss, we can interact with the Ova cluster to cleanse the beacon and return topside. Once we've done that, we can enter the nearby gate, which leads into the unmapped Sunken Village. Again, there's no map to reference here, so I'll just be moving through all beacons to reach the Etching Needles. The first of these beacons is the Seeping Mire. Feel free to cleanse the beacon, then start moving towards the next beacon for Sunken Village. The Corroded Stone is within the Sunken Village beacon. This dungeon has a fairly long and winding path to traverse before finally getting to the chest with the Corroded Stone. Fortunately, the corrupted ova is right next to the chest, making for an easy exit. To get the Etching Needles upgrade, we will then need to run across the nearby bridge and defeat a relatively minor boss. We can then continue through the nearby passage and cross another bridge to reach the chest containing the Etching Needles upgrade for the Tar Forge. Returning the Etching Needles to Franz at the Tar Forge will unlock the ability to upgrade Tarstones. Tarstones earn experience if they are equipped when we defeat enemies. Once they accumulate 10,000 experience, they can be upgraded to level 2 at the Tar Forge for 100 coin, and doing this will also get us 1 Tar Core. It's only after we upgrade them to level 2 that they can begin accumulating experience for level 3, which requires 20,000 experience. At that point, we will need 150 coin and 6 Tar Core to upgrade them to level 3. Doing this will also get us another 3 Tar Cores. What this means is that we can only get 1 level 3 Tarstone for every 3 Tarstones that we upgrade to level 2. So we want to be very selective in choosing which Tarstones we upgrade to level 3. The most important Tarstones to upgrade all the way to 3 for this build are the Ember Seed Stone, which we've already obtained, along with the Solnir Shard and Devout Stone, which we will be getting next. The reason I've held off on getting these 2 Tarstones until now is because they require us to go into the southern region of the world, Mammon Territory, which is significantly more challenging than the northern regions. If you find yourself struggling a lot with this area, I suggest following my other OP build guide, which I'll leave a link for near the bottom of this video's description. The closest beacon to the Solnir Shard is for the Citadel Annex, and it's located within the Gate of Infinity. I'll be showing the entire path I took to reach it, but you can skip ahead using timestamps to your closest checkpoint. Assuming we're ready, we can take the southern launcher from the top of Marrow Keep to the outskirts of Mammon Beacon. We'll then move south towards a large bridge structure. We can grab another Tar Forge upgrade, the Foundry Stone, along the way. A transporter at the edge of the bridge will bring us to the entrance of Castigator's Keep. We'll need to move along a winding path through the keep to reach the next area, and we can make a very quick detour to grab the area map along the way. After grabbing the map, we'll loop back a short distance before heading up a new pathway to reach a large lift. This lift will take us towards the Gate of Infinity. The starved Harridan boss serves as the gatekeeper, and this is where having a sufficiently strong build becomes important. Again, if you want to ragdoll this boss like I am, check out the guide that I linked near the bottom of this video's description. Once the boss is defeated, we can continue on our way to the Gate of Infinity, grabbing another area map along the way. The enemies in front of the beacon will be invulnerable until we destroy the blue torch nearby. Once that's done, we can defeat the enemies and revitalize the beacon. To enter the Gate of Infinity, we will first need to cleanse the beacon. After going through the initial entryway, we will need to interact with the bookcase to access the library on the other side. We will then need to traverse the bookcases to find the Grimorium Obscurum. We can also collect a synaptic vessel, glimpse, and upgrade material as we move along this path. After grabbing the Grimorium, we can place it on the nearby pedestal to access the boss chamber. When the Gloombound Wraith boss is weak enough, it will summon 2 glowing red books. These books must be destroyed before the boss can be defeated. After defeating the boss, we can cleanse the shrine, collect the nearby glimpse, and enter the Gate of Infinity. Doing so will bring us to the Ashen Sanctum, which is one of the tougher gate dungeons in the game. Most of the encounters involve a blue torch which must be destroyed before the enemies can be damaged directly. Destroying the first torch with a single hostile enemy near it will open the path ahead. It will also open a dead-end path behind us that leads to another torch that must be destroyed to get a unique Tarstone, so feel free to go grab that. Then keep moving forward into the next room and destroy another blue torch to open the way ahead. We should then be able to move unimpeded to the next beacon, which is for the Citadel Annex. Progressing further requires us to cleanse this beacon. That will bring us to the Hushed Sanctum. For the most part, it's just a very long and straight pathway that leads to a lift. There is a transporter to our left that leads to a lamb, which you can quickly defeat for a rare item. The lift at the end of the long path will bring us to an enormous creature, which we can then ride to reach the end of the dungeon. There, we'll get the Stillblade Stone and cleanse the corruption. With the beacon cleansed, our path forward should be open. Going up the nearby stairs, we can shoot the blue torch to open another set of stairs, then go up those. At the top of those stairs and to our right is a small boss chamber with Solnir the Gloomseeker. We'll need to destroy the 2 blue torches here first, then deal with Solnir. As you might have guessed, defeating Solnir will earn us Solnir's Shard, which is what gives our crossbow its explosive shots. I'll show the path I took to reach the next beacon for the Citadel Atrium, before moving on to the next and final Tarstone. The final Tarstone which will help us regenerate ammo for our grenade launcher is the Devout Stone. This is found near the Abbey entrance beacon. To reach that beacon, we'll start at the outskirts of Mammon Beacon and move south towards the bridge structure once again. This time, however, we will drop off to the left near the start of that bridge and move along a small path beyond some Grisha hunters. A transporter there will bring us to the Revenant Graves. Our first destination here is the tall tower where we can obtain the map for this area. After grabbing that map, we can run up into the nearby fortress. Before going to get the Devout Stone, let's move through the main entrance of the fortress, defeat a couple enemies so the gates open back up, and activate the Abbey entrance beacon. This will serve as a respawn point in case we are defeated. From the beacon, we can run back into the fort and along a circuitous path to reach a small gated chamber, which can be opened by pulling a nearby lever. The chest therein contains the Devout Stone. Now, to really bring this build online, we will then need to equip and upgrade all required Tarstones. The Tarstones for which level 3 is most essential are the Devout Stone and Ember Seed Stone. At level 3, the Ember Seed Stone will give our explosive shots a permanent fiery infusion, and the Devout Stone will make sure that they regenerate enough resolve to keep the party going. Basically, the explosive shot from the Solnir shard consumes 25 resolve, whereas the fully upgraded Devout Stone will give us 28 resolve for every enemy defeated with our sidearm. The explosive shot can reliably defeat one or more enemies in a single shot, especially when it is also upgraded to level 3. Because of that, we can move through trash mobs like a warm knife through butter. All of the other Tarstones covered in this guide just contribute more damage to the build, which is helpful against tougher opponents and bosses. If you have any questions on what was covered in this guide, you can reach out in the comments where I will do my best to help. If you want to see more great content, you can head over to my channel, and if you're new, consider subscribing. You're helping feed my cats, Marshmallow and Coco. Have a great day if you're here today, have a great Sunday, and a great week. And as always, thanks for watching.